irons! Oh, shooting irons! And to what was she referring?
Army rifles, sir. Hidden in the joist above the dining room.
And what else did she tell you?
She said I was to get 2 bottles of whiskey ready, too.
And were these things called for as per the defendant's instructions?
Yes, sir. About midnight, sir, night of the assassination, by 2 men on horses. One I'd seen before. The other was a stranger to me. I brought the items thinking these were the parties Miss Surratt meant. Two of them rode off so fast they could have outrun creation and give it 2 miles a start.
You're a witness.
Mr. Lloyd. Mr. Lloyd, you just testified that Louis Weichman accompanied the defendant that afternoon.
Right.
So then I can correctly assume that he would also testify to having heard her instructions to you.
Nope. She took me out by the woodpile out of earshot.
So you're saying that nobody heard this conversation, just you and her?
Way it happened, sir.
Of course it is. Of course it is. When did you learn of President Lincoln's assassination?
Well, who can forget when they heard? The next morning, the Captain Cottingham told me he was searching for the assassins.
No doubt you were most upset.
Indeed. I got myself right smart in liquor.
Yes, you're right smart in liquor most days, aren't you, Mr. Lloyd?
Objection.
In fact, I hear that you're your own best customer.
Objection. Sustained.
This Captain Cottingham, did he ask you anything in reference to the assassins?
He asked if any parties had passed through. Naturally, I told him about the 2 I knew.
Actually, you did not. According to this witness report, you said nothing for 2 days.
I was frightened as all. I feared the assassins might come for me.
Perhaps, though, you were afraid that the authorities might consider you an accessory.
It was through the Surratts that I got myself in such a difficulty.
The Surratts? Don't you mean John Surratt, to be more precise? Wasn't it he who brought the shooting irons to your tavern door in the first place?
Yeah?
And he showed you where to hide them?
I didn't want to.
So you're saying that he asked you, forced you to do so against your will?
Yes.
So he brought them to you, he showed you where to hide them, and he forced you to hide them against your will?
That's right. Yes, exactly.
If John Surratt was capable of putting Mr. Lloyd, Louis Weichman, and Lord knows how many others at risk, who's to say he didn't do the same to his mother?
Objection.
Stop this!
Sir, it seems
Stop it right now, Mr. Aiken.
It seems the
Objection.
only thing
General,
that Mary Surratt
objection.
might be guilty of is having given birth to her son, John.
How dare you?
Objection sustained. That will be all, Mr. Aiken. Just to be clear, Mr. Lloyd, it was the defendant, Mary Surratt, who just hours before the assassination brought you field glasses and instructed you to prepare rifles and 2 bottles of whiskey.
Yeah.
Thank you. General Hunter, members of the commission, the government rests its case against Mary Surratt.
That will be all, Mr. Lloyd. You may step down.
They promised you to say that, Mr. Lloyd?
Counselor, I'm warning you.
Bet a case of whiskey's all it took.
Best hush up. I'll put you in the ground, boy.
Aiken, you will sit down, sir.
You shut him up! Sit down, sir!